are back. Fresh off of Improvement Week. Chad, do you feel improved?
I feel like we're still in the midst of Improvement Week and could use some improvement on our end a little bit.
I know. We've had 2 weeks to get this show ready, and we are scrambling, folks, on our end.
We're off rhythm. You know, it's like passing games rely heavily on rhythm.
Yeah.
And we're out of rhythm, and we need to find that rhythm, and we are starting the rhythm back tonight.
There we go. Dallas may be joining us eventually. We may have a special guest eventually.
I think we will have a special
guest. We will have a special
about
guest
15
eventually.
minutes.
Yeah.
We just got to get that far.
So
I don't know if you and I can combine for 15 minutes total talk time ever about anything.
Yeah, definitely not.
Especially Jackrabbit football.
Yeah.
How about Kubotas? We can talk about Kubotas.
Yeah, we can talk about Kubotas. So I'm getting a little anxious. I haven't had to mow my yard in a while. But Miles and Lennon did hop on and practice mowing today just for fun anyways. But
you let them drive that rig? That thing's worth more than any of my vehicles.
For sure. They're doing great.
I mean, legit it is. No joke.
Same. Anyways, if you need a Kubota for your acreage, farm, lawn, business, whatever it may be, Chad Solo show. We need that. Stop in one of the Kubota dealers of South Dakota, and they can get you hooked up with what you need. For me, it was a subcompact tractor just for my acreage to help me move snow and to help me mow my large lawn. So yawn.
Yeah, we're tired already. I don't think anyone in their right mind actually wants a Chad show. Kevin, if you wanted a Chad show so bad, you'd invite me on to be on your radio show, and I haven't even been invited to be on your radio show. So, and I don't blame you, and I'm not asking.
Yeah, we need some garage time on that show.
Oh man, can you imagine? I know the way they do things is a little different from ours, and I am a complete fly in the ointment or a wrench in the machine, if you will.
Yeah, sometimes when they get going on that like speed rounds and stuff, when they get talking really fast, just because they have to make time for their episode, I would love for you to be able to jump in so that Stone has to edit all that stuff out. Yeah, I would love that. Let's get Chad on. Come on, Kevin. There we go. Garage time with Ricky Bobby. Yes.
Hey, I love racing. I can allow that. I got to have some more sponsors on me. I only got one on right now. So
yep.
Brought to you by Rip It Hard. Okay.
There we go. So we got to talk
I'll have my wife bring me a beer.
Yeah. We got to talk about Kubota. Now we need to talk about Hadrick Ranch. Chad, have you made anything from Hadrick lately?
No, I haven't made it. Well, to be clear, Sam cooks most of the stuff, but even on the grill, she's a grill master. I just get out of her way, because
all right.
Better than I am at a lot of things. I can make pretty good food when I decide to. The most recent thing that I had that was Hadrick wasn't made by me. I went to JJ's Wine and Spirits. They also sell cigars there. They have a bar side, and their burgers are Hadrick Ranch beef. So I had a patty melt, and Sam decided she wanted to go there. It was kind of surprising. She's like, let's go there maybe. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I didn't know the last time I had a burger there, it was just so phenomenal. It was a patty melt. So I got the patty melt again this time. But, when she talked about it, I was like, oh God, that burger was now I know why that burger was so fantastic. and I'm not just selling it because he's our sponsor and a great guy and seems like a great family. All the kids are awesome. His wife seems very nice. I met her the other day at tailgating. But yeah, you want to try some meat before you buy it, so to speak, and hit JJ's. They're friends of mine, and they have, and my understanding is the Maury's Steakhouse, actually, that's all Hadrick beef too. So the gal that manages part of Maury's is married to the guy that runs the alcohol liquor store side of JJ's.
Yeah.
So he was
Mary's in
He was at their
Flanders.
wedding.
Yeah,
Troy was. So
sure.
yeah.
There's the Double Barrel in Henry. Like, there's lots of restaurants around that are doing.
Oh, Mad Mary's recently
Haddock Ranch.
added that.
I just said that.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry. I heard the double barrel. That's all I heard.
Sure. I said that before. Oh gosh, Chad. Ofta, we're back in preseason mode here, folks.
Almost.
But yeah, if
Because you let me talk so much.
Yeah, if you'd like some Hadrick Ranch beef in your freezer, go to hadrickranch.com. They have lots of different beef bundles and options for you. And if you're coming to Brookings, there's a chance that they could deliver it to you at the game, whatever, make arrangements, whatever it is.
Hey, you save a couple bucks.
It's delicious. So, yeah.
Did you see that tailgater bundle? That looks pretty tasty.
Pretty tasty. So, folks, we have not talked about the Drake game yet. We took improvement week last week. I was sick. Wife and kids were sick, so it just wasn't going to work for me. And I believe Dallas was traveling back. So let's get to work. Exactly, Seth. Thank you. All right. So, Chad, it wasn't the prettiest game against Drake, right? You guys covered it a little bit in B team. Wasn't the best game, but a win's a win. It was a
W.
It was a W. It's not a U. It's a W. So,
I feel like if you ask the team to rate their performance, they wouldn't give themselves over a B.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that's unfair. I mean, maybe individual players. I'm just saying position groups, sides of the ball, overall effort, as far as outcome, not necessarily effort, but outcome, I guess should be the word there. We know the team is better. The defense didn't look as good as they did the two previous games. The offense looked better in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of room for improvement there. But I think our guys are still learning, coming to mesh a little bit. We were talking about timing. That's one of the places I think we're doing pretty well is our quarterbacks got to work with most of the receivers quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But still a couple of the guys are newish, like Alex Bullock. So the offensive line's starting to gel, it feels like. I'd like to see some more hard hits out of those tight ends, on some pulls or guards, whoever's pulling tackles. And I think the part that's best is that even though it wasn't our best effort, I think that there's room for improvement, and that's what this last week and this week will be all about. Well, last week, I guess we're looking forward to Mercyhurst at this point.
Right. And so through 3 weeks of this season, we haven't played our best ball yet, and we're still 3-0. So we're very fortunate with that. But man alive, to be 3-0 and still feel like you're not playing the best, that's pretty cool. So again, it was probably a fruitful improvement week for the team. I just want to talk about a few things with Drake first, though. I liked their receivers, that Hank Foley and Jackson Voth. Those are legitimate receivers. I think those are as good as anyone that we saw from Sac State or Montana State. And the kid from which kid was it from Drake? The Hank Foley, I think he's the Kansas kid. It's either Jackson Voth or Hank Foley. One of the two. One of the two is from Kansas and was a 3A, offensive player of the year down there just a couple of years ago. They're both young, both fun. So I think if they choose to stay at Drake, go somewhere else, whatever it is that they end up doing, they're going to be successful. I mean, even against USD, they looked good. One just had the ball poked out after a long gain against USD yesterday. So, that's something, some ball security. I thought their quarterback looked good against us and against USD. The freshman, he's just a freshman, folks, and he's tough as nails. Logan Inagawa. Yeah. Impressed with him, definitely. So
what a gamer at 19 to just be thrust on the scene, not expecting necessarily that, but just going to town. Kind of reminds me of Mark in that regard, although Mark knew before the season, still just got that it factor. And the running back was really good too. I'm excited.
American.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's a hot take, but I'm kind of pleased that USD didn't falter to them, because a
Mhm.
good USD is good for our conference, and I don't want them to be terrible when we beat the brakes off of them. So let's go, boys.
Yep, there we go. Hey, let's talk about us now a little bit. I loved what Chase Mason did. 18 for 25,
Absolutely.
225 yards, one touchdown. You know, just no plays where it was ever like, ooh, Chase, like I can't believe you threw that. No like near interceptions. I mean, it just he looked in such command back there. Ben did a good job of highlighting some of his really high level throws and decision making that he did throughout the game. Ben goes back and watches the game and then clips a bunch of things and puts them out on Twitter. So make sure you give him, um, kind of a follow and likes on those tweets, because that does take some time for Ben to do that. But they're really good, and some of those throws that Chase made, man, just lasers on those deep outs that are just tough. Even Curtis Riggs, on the broadcast watching it back, he was really impressed and blown away. And if you can blow Curtis Riggs away for your quarterback play, I think that's pretty cool and pretty high praise for Chase.
And for those that don't know, because there's people that watch this show from all over, so Curtis Riggs is a very high level quarterback centric coach in football, knows a ton about football, could end up, if things go well down at Alabama, he could even end up there. That's not hyperbole even. Can I say one thing that's kind of South Dakota State adjacent? Just wanted to shout out Ryan Gronowski, because they won their tournament today and they're going to state. So Ryan, we're always supporting you, bud. You're one of our brothers, and we'll always be a jackrabbit to us. You can be a jackrabbit and a Hawkeye, or we're good with that. So
Yeah, right.
shout out to Ryan.
Yeah. On the other side, just continuing on offense, super excited for Corey Blair to be able to get his first action, a touchdown. James Basinger, his first touchdown. Alex Bullock, his first touchdown. They finally kind of got him going in the offense a little more, it felt like, looking for him in the passing game. So that was exciting to see that. Those two freshman running backs, I'm really excited for their futures with the Jacks. Corey Blair looks just exceptionally quick and shifty, whereas Basinger is that one cut guy. So I'm excited for both of them. They're going to be a lot of fun just to see how their future goes. Then on defense, I was really excited with Colin McShane, how he's playing. He's on fire. I really, folks, and Kevin, you want to start beating the drum for this on your show. Colin McShane's an All-American caliber linebacker. Let's get that going. What's up, Chad?
He is not just Cullen McShane. I got a nickname for him.
Ooh.
It's MC Shane. Kind of like, he's the MC of the defense, the master of ceremonies.
All right, we're gonna have to workshop that one, Chad.
Everybody thinks that's stupid, but I think it's cool, so I don't care.
It looks like Tanner likes it. Here's our special guest, folks. Tanner Castor is joining us again for the 100th time. So Tanner, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great. How are you two doing?
We're good.
We're
good.
Doing
we're
good.
Dallas tonight. So
yeah,
you are our person.
Thanks for stepping in. I know we talked about it earlier, and it was a long weekend, and I have to apologize. Right. I feel like we both got a little bit focused on what we were doing in the future. So tell us a little bit about your podcast, the Jackrabbit Jump. What's going on with you? What's new there? And then obviously get into the other deal, and then we'll talk some more Jackrabbit football.
Yeah. So it's a podcast / a radio show. It's on the Ranch, AM 910. It's Brookings Radio. I do it every Monday, so I'll do it tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's from 10 to 11 a.m. And then I put it up on Spotcast. Call it the Jackrabbit Jump. This week I'm going to have Garrett Greenfield on. You guys are very familiar with Garrett. Played for the Jacks for many years, 3-time All-American, 2-time national champ. He'll be on. We're talking about a little bit about his life and then about the current team and whatnot. And so I did it last year, and now this year I'm hosting it by myself. And I really appreciate the opportunity that Brookings Radio has given me with it, because you guys know when you watch a game, you have so many thoughts throughout the 60 minutes, and it's nice to have a place to just let it all out. And so I think it's not therapeutical, but it's like it's a nice form to have. So starting to pick up some traction with that and whatnot. That's been good. Then my big project, as I know you two know about, I wrote a book about Coach Stig and the South Dakota State football program. Title of the book is Stig and the Rise of South Dakota State Football. It is Stig's biography, but as much as it's his biography, I think this is the definitive book of South Dakota State football. It's the story of how they became what they are. Honestly, I go back to the earliest roots. I don't write a ton about, the 1800s, the 1900s. I touch on it, though, so people know how they started. But it's really it tells of the mediocre Division II program they were to the national champion they became, the players that did it, even some assistant coaches. I just talk about how Stig really put this together and how he built this. And so it's taken me close to 2 years in total to write the whole thing. I actually interviewed Matt. Matt's in the book. Got you quoted a couple times in the book.
Oh, boy.
So there's a ton of people. I had to do it. Come on. You can't write the book on South Dakota State football and not have this guy in it. So he's in it. A lot of people are in it. I did countless interviews with Stig. We'd meet almost every single week, talked about all kinds of stuff. I honestly asked that man thousands of questions, and he answered every single one. And then I interviewed over 100 former players, coaches, alumni, all kinds of people for this book. Put everything I have into it. I think it is the best I could have done. And so it's 27 chapters, and it's over 300 pages, and it comes out October 10th. We're going to have a book signing on October 10th at Cubby's from 4 to 6. Me and Stig will be there. And then if people can't make that one, the next day on Hobo Day at the JFPA tailgate, we're going to have another book signing starting around probably 11:30. So a lot has gone into this book. I really think it'll be special for people. I just felt it was a good opportunity to first highlight a man like Stig and how his character shone throughout all of this. And then also it's worth capsulating everything that the program has accomplished. And so this, I hope, does that for people, and I hope it's something that's a book that becomes special to the university and the fan base.
Awesome.
I think it will.
Man, I am excited for this book, Tanner, just to come out, just because like you said, it's been 2 years in the making. I think it was after the national championship, right? When Stig retired, and yeah. I know you shared it, that, hey, I'm going to write this book, and this is what you've dedicated your life to kind of the last 20 months since then. So very cool. Very excited for you and excited for us as fans that get to read it.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I did dedicate my life to it, which I know some people can do other things and write a book on the side. I guess I'm just not that guy. Like I wanted to put everything I had into it, and I appreciate that. I hope that people do read it, and I appreciate you guys always be willing to get the word out and help me with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because Stig is definitely the GOAT of South Dakota State football. I mean, the Michael Jordan of basketball, if you will. So,
yeah.
Not LeBron, not the LeBron James of basketball.
Come on, man! I watched them both play.
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm poking at you. You know it.
I know
I see your shirt.
Okay.
So Tanner, is there anything that's in the book that when you learned about it was surprising to you? Like whether it was about the program or Stig?
There is certainly something that's surprising. I'm not
going to tell. Not going to spoil it.
Yeah, I think people will find it surprising as well when they read it. It's not, I won't even say too much about it. I was very surprised when I found out. Okay. So there's definitely something I won't talk about now, but I will talk about it once people read it, because I'm sure people will want to discuss it. So yeah, there's definitely one thing that was surprising. As far as like football stuff, I think it was, I didn't know much about the Division I transition.
Oh yeah.
And that to me was surprising to start to understand the polarization that was really like, it was a point of discussion around the area,
across the
really
whole
around
state.
the whole state. Yeah, about like, and honestly, most people were against South Dakota State going Division I. So I didn't know that. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. I didn't know any of the histories, and I really dove into it. So that surprised me. And it was a bit surprising, not so much so once you learned about it, but it was a bit surprising to realize that most people were against the Jacks going Division I. You start to understand the process as to why. So that was surprising. And then to figure out how it kind of happened, which I write about in the book, kind of dive into some behind the scenes stuff. That was also cool to understand as well.
Yeah.
So were you able to talk to Peggy and Fred then on that?
I was.
A bit?
I talked to Fred a couple times, talked to Peggy Miller as well. I did.
And
That's awesome.
And how cool was it to go back to see where Stig was also teaching math?
Yeah.
Did you probably were aware of that, but it's kind of crazy to go from that in a D2 level to you'd never see that with a D1 coach.
Well, I mean, I hope this comes across in the book, but like, it's pretty remarkable what his life turned out to be. I mean, he legitimately, like, when he got to South Dakota State, like, he had no plans of coaching college football. I know you guys know most of this stuff, but like, he went to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and as you said, Chad, he's teaching math, and he ends up getting the defensive coordinator job at Northern State. Now, they were an NAIA program at the time, but he even told me, and this was genuine when he was telling me, he was shocked that he got hired. He was at a very average high school in Wisconsin as their defensive coordinator. Nothing special. They weren't winning the state championships, and he got this opportunity to be a defensive coordinator at Northern State. And he's quoted in the book. It's a great quote. He said, "I thought I died and went to heaven. Like I couldn't believe I got the job," and that's what opened the door to get him into college. And then I talk about it in the book. His dream was to coach in the Rose Bowl. He wanted to coach in the Rose Bowl, and he gets an opportunity at Wisconsin. And I'll let people read about it in the book as to why he ultimately decides to go a different route. He changes his dream. His dream at some point was no longer to coach in the Rose Bowl after he kind of realized what that level was like. But fascinating to understand a guy's just total career arc. And one thing that was really cool, I talked to a couple reporters that covered him in the Division II days, and it was so interesting to hear how they'd say, well, you get to know Stig, and he just would give us unbelievable access even back then. Like, he'd let reporters sit in on film, and like that's like unheard of almost.
Yeah.
And they said when the program moved to Division I, many people that knew him didn't feel it would like fit him, because winning would become more important, honestly. Like, as Division II, like, it's not quite as serious. Yeah, do you have to win? No question. But the level of expectation was going to rise, yet Stig did not change. He continued to be that same type of like gentle, mentoring, like almost grandfather type of figure for the program, and it worked. And for many years, people doubted it ever would. And so it's just a cool story. Really an honor to spend so much time with him and get to understand how he did it.
Yep. Tanner, is there any plans for like an audio version of this at some point?
Yeah, I'm actually making a call to a guy tomorrow because I got to start recording it. Like I'm going to narrate it myself. I know people have asked me, well, there's people you can hire to do that. And I can, but I voice stories. I've never obviously voiced a whole book, but I wrote it. It's my voice in the book. And yeah, there will be an audio version.
Okay.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, because you can probably expand on some of the things that you can't really, put emotion and stuff into text as easily.
True.
I've never written a book, but I've written letters and stuff, and it's hard to put in writing what you can say in words, for sure.
Totally.
Nobody wants this, Corey. Nobody wants me to read it.
That would be great.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
I'd love it.
We'll do after that one's sold like for years. I'll come back. We'll circle
That's
back, and nobody will buy it.
There
We
you
can
go.
make that happen.
They'll turn it off. So we were talking a little bit about the Drake game.
Yeah.
Maybe I know you had some thoughts on your show, but how do you think that went? What do you think of the performance? How do you like the trajectory? Give us your thoughts on that if you would, since we
I
got
mean,
you.
I honestly was impressed with Drake. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's where we started too.
I really was. Like, they came in and were very well prepared. They did not seem timid at all. Like, it would take us breaking down film with the coaching staff to actually understand all the X's and O's and every little intricate thing that they did. But you can tell if you've watched enough football, you can tell when a team is well coached. And
Yep.
they were well coached. They were well coached. And I mentioned this on my show. Like, they had their bye week before this game, so that gives them extra time to prepare. They get to they don't have a game themselves, so they get to watch the Jacks play. And then also, like, this is a big game on their schedule. And so was last week against USD, but SDSU, everyone knows, is a FCS power. Like, that's a game where that staff had been thinking about for months. And so, yeah, they were going to come out firing. And then not only that, like, I thought once their quarterback, I think, wasn't it Washington, Xavier Washington?
Yep.
Was, first of all, he was their backup, as you guys know. And then he gets knocked out. It's like, okay, now this is going to get ugly. That kid can play, man.
Yeah.
That freshman was like, it wasn't like he was getting lucky. It was like, no, he was making reads. He was doing things with his feet. And so I came away impressed with Drake. I think South Dakota State's looked really good. I mean, like, and you have to, there's like two different prisms that you can view it through. You can view it through the national championship dominant 15-0 team that people, they can be, and people almost, like, I don't want to say expect, but like, there has the standard of expectation is certainly, as you guys know, been raised in the past 3 to 4 years. So you can view it through that prism, or you can view it through the, wow, like, this team was, oh my, you talk about question marks. We didn't know who was going to be on the roster months back. We didn't know who the coaching staff would be. Like, to see how well things have come together, to see how good Chase Mason has looked. I mean, he looks like a guy, like, I have been, we know how athletic he is, but have you guys not been, like, almost taken back by the control and the poise he has with the offense?
Yep.
Like, I didn't expect that this early.
Even I mentioned this right before you got on. Some of his throws on those deep outs on the sideline in the second half were beautiful, and just how, when you watch the game back and Curtis Riggs is going crazy about them, just how good they are. Like, you're doing something right, like, at that point, and he just looks great. I'm really impressed with where Chase is at this point of the season.
Me too. He is a, like, I don't want to exaggerate it. I don't know if you might never see a quarterback as physically gifted as him ever play in this program again. I'm serious.
He's got a rocket for an arm, man. Just crazy.
Yeah.
I went to the Nebraska game this past weekend, and I watched Michigan and Nebraska play in person. The Michigan quarterback is a specimen, right? 6'4", 230. Yep. That's Chase Mason. Seriously. Yeah. I mean, that is literally Chase Mason. Like, Dylan Raiola, he is way better put together than that kid physically. I mean, like, I'm just telling you, like, that kid is, he's got ways to go. Like, we know that, but what a start for him. Yeah. And the team it's like, it's in a sense, it's a new team. Like, even the defenses looked fantastic. How many guys that are starting this year were starting last year? Like, almost no one.
Yeah, just almost, Claiborne, right? Claiborne and Rip.
Right. Yeah. Like, it's like, wow, like, this early to see the cohesion. Are there things they need to clean up? Sure. Like, but I have been very impressed with just the way that they have not only played but handled themselves. I thought against Sacramento State, it was like, wow, they were pretty, like, I just thought they were ready. They felt ready to play, and I've seen that each week.
Yep. Before we go any further with Drake here, just gotta shout out Cubbies. Sorry, still haven't battled my cough, folks. Cubbies Sports Bar and Grill in Brookings. Tanner mentioned them for his book signing on October 10th. But this weekend, if you get into town before the game and before you don't want to tailgate, stop in and get that game day burger, get some chislet, get some wings, whatever it may be. It's delicious at Cubbies. We all have great memories at Cubbies, and it's fun to go back and experience it now as well. So thank you, Cubbies, for your continued support. Chad, what do you got?
I've got the Wild Hair Cream Ale from Wooden Legs, who's our normally a sponsor on the B team, but this week there's no B team, so I'm drinking this wonderfully nice cream ale, which you can get down at the pub. Also, there's fan cakes before the game, before all home games, and it's an earlier game, so hit the pub up for fan cakes. Donate to the charity. I'm sure Seth will put in the chat who that is this week, but from what I understand, there's some garage time our beer left, and
is there? We got to sell it. We got to break the record.
There's some going. I don't know. I don't think. Have you had it? Do you drink beer, Tanner? I don't know.
I do. Okay.
27 days.
Much, I don't drink as much beer as you guys do, but I do.
Yeah. 27 days is the record.
7 days is the record. So, so we're really close. We had 25 gallons left as of last game, and so I don't know where we're at there. I haven't asked for an update, but we got to get that gone. You guys need to go buy some more crawlers and make it happen for us.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so one thing we haven't touched on, we've hardly touched on special teams this year.
That's true.
Ryan Harrington, super impressive kicker, freshman kicker, and he's just daring guys to return it in that front corner of that end zone, just daring them, just because the coverage units for the Jacks are typically so good. As a freshman, to have that type of consistency, he walked in then later in the game, nailed that 39-yard field goal. That was good to see. I am very curious to see, coming out of improvement week here, what the field goal and extra point kicker situation looks like. Are they going to stick with Eli Stater? Is Kevin Kerrigan going to get healthy? Or are we going to give Ryan Harrington the chance here? What's it going to be? What do you think, Tanner?
I've been wondering the same thing. I'll put you. Let's put Chad in the spot right now. Chad, you're the head coach. From what you've seen, what you've gathered, do you stick with Stater right now? Do you give him one more game, or is Harrington the guy now moving forward?
I mean, Chad, the fan, says the new guy gets the opportunity till he misses, a couple. But as a coach, I think I go back to the old shoe and tell him that I believe in him, even though he's had some mishaps, and we need him. This team needs him to be successful, and it's going to come down to his leg in a pivotal game, and we're going to need his leadership and experience to shine through in those moments. So it's the same game at NAIA, at D2, at Division I or FBS. It's the exact same kicking, right? I mean, until you get the NFL, the goalposts are the same. So put it through, bud. You know what you're doing. We trust you. That's why we brought you in.
Yep.
I'm going to agree with that.
I'm with Jim Poppin here too. So let's give him a chance. I think one more game.
Yeah.
And if he still has kind of the yips, then we try Harrington. We keep trying Harrington and go from there. So
yeah.
But I'll be honest, me as the fan in the stands at the Drake game had a little different. Like a little over it.
No, I agreed. I agreed with the move at the time. I wrote that down in my notes. I thought it was at that moment, okay, give Harrington a chance. And I did, but I think you could really empower Stater if you put him back into the lineup and give him another chance. Like you have this bye week. Let's see how he does against Mercyhurst. And now I think I'm sure they're going to have that discussion. Like if they do decide to start him, that's like, hey, if you make some kicks, like it's your job to moving forward. But if not, like we've got to try someone else. And I think that if I had to bet, that would be my guess as to what they'll do.
Sure. With the special teams tune, Max Pelham has been sensational this year.
Except for the Drake game.
What did he do? Well, he didn't kick. He didn't punt. Yeah. We just haven't shouted him out yet. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We talked about him for the Montana State game, unfortunately, because of the whatever punt that happened there. Just the mess of a play.
Yeah.
It wasn't all on him. We kind of said that at the time. And it sounds like the more we've learned and the more we've heard since then, like it definitely wasn't all on Max at all.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame that was like he actually had punted a good game.
Yeah,
right.
And that kind of overshadowed it, which
he was trying to make the best out of the situation, and that's what it was.
Yep. I am interested in the Drake game. Miles Taylor getting the chance to return some punts.
Yeah.
I thought he made some good decisions back there. And he was a really good wide receiver, playmaker down in Arizona as a prep. So he's used to having the ball in his hands on that. So the 22-yard return. So yeah, I'm excited to see if they stick with IGC or if they let Miles have some chances there, just to kind of stabilize that unit. We'll see.
I think Castaneda is kind of a situation. This is honestly just my thoughts. The coaches haven't told me this, where it's like they know he's a talented wide receiver, but he might be the odd guy out as far as catching passes this year. Like he might not get the numbers that he hopes to. So to kind of help that situation, you put him as a punt returner because he's a dangerous guy, and like that way you can get him more involved in the game. He is getting involved. He's touching the ball. He's giving him an opportunity to make things happen. But I think Miles Taylor might just have a knack for it. Like I was impressed with what I saw. Yeah, it was one return, but I would like to see, give Miles Taylor another chance because, as you mentioned, Matt, like it's not like this is foreign to him. He's had the ball in his hands growing up. So I thought that actually was one of the bright spots. Special teams against.
Yeah, and how much can a kick return change a game? Just look at what happened with Iowa. I mean, that set the tone for the first half, and they had to claw back, and getting those extra points on special teams. They say it's a third of the game. Well, I mean, you don't expect to get kick returns, but if you can rely on those for some extra points, man, that makes a lot easier on the offense.
Yep. Oh man. All right. One other thing. We've talked about Cullen McShane and how excited we are with his season. Got to talk about Joe Ullman as well. 3 games, 3 forced fumbles. I think Joe had a sack in this one as well, if I remember right. It's been a while. So I'm just happy for him. Tanner and I, we were talking on the sidelines before or during the game, and Ullman especially, right? We all know he's a walk-on, but he didn't really play much linebacker in high school. He was a running back when he came out of Wisconsin, and got converted to linebacker here. And so now just to kind of see him and how he's attacked that learning process and developed into the player that he is now, team captain. Again, 3 fumbles in 3 games, and these are legitimate fumbles. They're not just like he's tackling them and the ball happens to pop loose. He's punching it out and ripping it out on these. So really excited for him.
He's been fantastic, and I think he just fits so perfectly between Van Tol and Cullen. I mean, those guys are like 2 missiles on the sides of him, and he's just like steady. He just looks like a middle linebacker. He really does. He has built himself and trained himself and willed himself into the player he is today.
Yep.
And it took him time. Like he, as you said, was a running back in high school. Was not a guy. It wasn't like he even played a little bit of linebacker. He didn't. Like he was. This was kind of new to him coming into college, and he got to play behind some really good players. Like Adam Bach is one of them. They're really close. He was at Adam's wedding this past summer. Like those guys, Joe told me they'll be friends for life. I'm actually working on a story on Joe, but man, he is like I was talking to Coach Jackson about him, and what he raved about was his leadership, and getting to know Joe. I mean, like this was really cool. Coach had told me that when Nate passed away, Nate White, they had a team meeting, and after Coach Jackson had addressed the team, at one point Joe stood up and spoke, and it was like he said after Joe was done speaking, like nothing else had to be said. And if you trace that back, Joe has dealt with death in his life. His father passed away when he was just 11 years old. And so he said it didn't, make it any easier, but it was almost like he'd been through something similar. And there's just a maturity about that kid that is pretty evident. And it's like, when all this turmoil was going through, like who's going to stay, who's going to come back, and he was one of those glue guys. Like it was a big deal to have him committed, to know that Joe Ullman was coming back. And I think that speaks to also the culture in Brookings. It's like, man, I've waited so long to be one of the guys here. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be one of the guys. I'm not going to give up that opportunity. And so he stayed, and boy, it's paying off. I think he has been a pleasure to watch play so far.
Awesome. Well, good. All right.
Yeah, the new captain 11.
Yeah, right.
Baby.
I think we covered this Drake game pretty well. We complimented Drake, all of us did from the jump. There's definitely things we need to improve, right? Red zone, third down. We know that that's been harped on the last 2 weeks. Hopefully, Coach Eidsness and the team have revisited some of that, and have some maybe different schematic things, or maybe just really drilling down on being assignment sure, because that's what it kind of sounds like. Just one guy missing a block, or the running back missing the hole, or a wide receiver or tight end, whatever it may be. Hopefully we've cleaned some of that up and able to see that on tape. So, Chad, I don't think any of us, at least, I guess, Chad, you had Chase as your person for your pick.
Yep.
I had Dallas had Chase as well, which is cheating. You guys can't pick the same thing. Defense.
I picked first, though.
Yeah, right. We had Jason Van Tol, we had Gary, and then Kobe. They all had good games. But I think I went with Joe again, Ullman on this one. So pretty sure that's what I ended up going with. Anyways, that's sponsored by Renegade Regeneration. This next segment here, we're going to talk about Mercyhurst. Renegade Regeneration is Dallas's new company. We've talked about this. Right now, they have the hydration powder. It's really good. Chad and I use it every day. Get up and fill up the bottle, throw a couple scoops in, eat it with that, even drink it with my breakfast to start the day. It's the right way to start it. I know Dallas is working on some different products right now to come out with. But if you need some hydration powder in your life, go with Renegade Regeneration and help Dallas support his new company. All right, Mercyhurst. Folks, I got to admit, when I saw Mercyhurst on the schedule, I had said, this isn't a game I'm going to. This is the one guy, there's a game every once in a while, like Augie last year I didn't go to. I didn't want to be there for that. When we played the Northwest Oregon team or whatever it was, I didn't go
Western
to that.
Oregon.
Western Oregon. Thank you. I didn't want to be there for
a pretty
that.
good team.
But Mercyhurst guys looks, even though they're 0-3, I think they look legit. Like they have a quarterback, they have a running back, they have a big offensive line, and their defense is playing well enough to keep them in these games. So I'm excited actually to see these guys play. Like I'm excited to see Mercyhurst. Tanner, any initial thoughts on these guys?
Well, so I was in Lincoln this past week, and I'll be honest, I forgot I was coming on tonight. And so I was about to start my prep for Mercyhurst to talk about them on my show tomorrow. All I know is that they lost 17-0, right, to Montana State?
Yep.
Was that the score? Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that right there, I'll be honest, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I didn't expect that. I thought it'd be more of a, runaway game for Montana State. The only thing I know about Mercyhurst is they're in Pennsylvania, and one of my buddies in high school went to play football there when they were a Division II program.
Yep.
And I know it's what their second year maybe.
Yeah, I think
So
it's their
it
second.
hasn't been long, but
Yeah.
okay. No, I have not studied them.
So that, like I said, I mentioned their running back. Number 2 is the player to watch, Brian Trobel. He has a 6.6 average on 40 attempts, 273 yards, 4 touchdowns against Montana State. I mean, he looked just as good as Adam Jones, like Julius. They're Montana State's good backs. I mean, he was just as good as any of them that Montana State trotted out. So that's kind of fun, just knowing that there's a player like that coming in. His backup, Jameer Gamble, also has a 6.5 average. So these are legitimate dudes. And again, their offensive line was pretty big. When I was watching the game, the announcer was going through it, and he said like 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", like just a big group of offensive linemen there.
Yeah, obviously, if you're running for a 5+ average, you're either the stud of the earth or you've got a quality offensive line in front of you even at the FCS level.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put money against these guys if they were playing the Racers. I think they're probably every bit as good as Murray State. Honestly, I think they're going to give us some fits and some things. I mean, look what they did with Montana State. They hung right there with them, and it took some really good plays by some of their guys that hadn't popped off that really changed that game for them.
Yep.
I know I went in and out. Did I miss you guys? Did you mention who they played previously to Montana State?
So yeah, we didn't mention it, but they played Youngstown, Sac State, and Montana State. So they've traveled all over, like legitimate opponents. And again, the Montana State score, it was 17-0 at halftime. They shut out Montana State in that second half.
Yeah.
Again, like their quarterback too, folks, like not only do they have just a really good running back, they're averaging almost 300 yards a game in the air. Like
right.
they're
fairly balanced.
Fairly balanced. I'm looking at their stats right now. They have 2 receivers with over 20 catches. Dylan Evans, 23, has 24 for 329 and 2 touchdowns. And then Rylan Davidson, 20 receptions, 254 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Again, and that's not against 10-ply
right.
competition in the whatever league. They've been playing some of the best teams in the nation.
Yeah. And what a good measuring stick here, right? We've played Sac State. We've played Montana State. Right. We will play Youngstown in a few weeks here. Like this is going to be fun just to kind of see how we stack up.
I can tell you that they're in a good area as far as recruiting goes. Like if you can recruit Ohio and you can recruit Pennsylvania, there's some kids there. Like they might take them a couple of years, but they're clearly like that's a heck of a non-conference schedule that they're putting together. Are they independent right now?
Nope. They're in the NEC.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
So
impressive.
Yeah.
What would you guys, if you guys like early thoughts, what would you predict the spread to be on this game?
Well, I think it's going to be way too. I mean, I think Vegas is going to come out and say it's 17, 21 points, something like that. I'd say
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say if Vegas comes out with 17 or more, that's probably a good bet to take the under. I mean, with the way we've kind of shown we've played, I don't see us popping off and killing these guys on offense. I mean, I think we have the team that could do it, but look, like you said about the second half at Montana State, I don't think it's all that likely. It's going to be more of a grinded out game, and we'll probably have 150 on the ground and 150 in the air or something, and 3 touchdowns.
What I'm excited to see though, Chad, is that Coach Eidsness actually has tape on an opponent to scheme up something on offense here.
It is a good point.
Again, Sac State, we had no clue what they were going to be running really. We thought probably a 4-2-5, maybe a 3-4. Like we weren't 100% sure where they were at. Montana State, we didn't even know necessarily because they have so many new pieces in that defense this year. And then obviously Drake had only played Upper Iowa, and it was a totally new staff. So I'm just excited to see what, improvement we did, but also what we scheme up against these guys. We finally have tape. We have 3 games to look at against this defense and just see what can we do. So
I don't know if we're making predictions, but I would go on record right now. I think the Jacks will win by more than 17.
okay.
I do.
Okay.
I think that they will be ready to play this week.
We'll get there, Tanner. You settle down. So
everybody's just trying to. We're 10 minutes away from an hour, and everyone just wants to get to it. And be
trying to wrap us up here. What's going on?
I'm
not. The one thing that I did find interesting, kind of going through their stats, and as we prepared for this, what's maybe one thing about the Jacks this season that has been surprising on offense? What's been surprising on offense that? Yeah, I'll leave it at that. We haven't done well.
You're asking Tanner, right?
I'm asking anyone. Yeah.
Well, obviously what's been surprising is our lack of efficiency on third down.
Okay, so there's that.
Didn't think it'd be quite as bad as it is.
Sure.
With a new team, I didn't expect it to be stellar from the jump, but
sure.
The question is, what's been surprising so far?
What's been surprising, like in a negative way, about our offense?
I would tell you, not shocking, a bit surprising. There hasn't been more production with the tight ends yet. I expected and there might be. And Drayton Gannon's had his moments. Delahoyte had the touchdown. I'm not saying they haven't been involved at all, but I think there's some real dudes in that room, and I'd say it's a bit surprising they haven't been more of a factor yet through 3 games.
Okay, so I would stick with what Cody was going to say. I agree with what you said there, Tanner. That makes sense. I've been disappointed overall in the offensive line, but looking at Mercyhurst's stats here, they have 1 sack through 3 games here. 1. So I like that. I don't know if Mercyhurst is going to change what they're doing on defense, but I feel like if you let Chase sit in the pocket and play a bunch of man coverage, there's a chance that, there's going to be running lanes potentially, as well as I like Lofton Nagroski in one-on-one matchups, if that's what they're going to choose to do. So I'm kind of excited about that when I look at their stats just in general for those opportunities. Just 1 sack.
To flip it to the other side of the coin there, the thing that surprised me in the offense a little bit more is, Lofton was kind of that guy somewhat last year, but how much and how well he's done, surprising maybe isn't quite the right word, but the level of production that he's had has been fantastic. And without him, we would not be doing so well on the passing front. So really like to see some other guys get involved. Some of those guys, Isaiah and Alex specifically, I'd like to see them get the ball at least 3-4 times a game. If we can get the ball into some other guys' hands to maybe take some of the pressure off. As good as he's been playing, take a little bit of the pressure off Lofton. So
that's a good point, Chad.
Another thought.
I don't think, it's not like, again, I don't think it's shocking, but we heard, how deep the wide receiver room was, and it's like, oh wow, like he seems to be the guy, and it's already so evident so early. I'd say that is a bit surprising.
All right. Anything else on Mercyhurst? Anyone? Thoughts? I'm just excited to see these guys.
Business, right? We should, if we are the number 2 team in the country as projected, then this is another game where we need to show up and exert our will some, so to speak, maybe a little more so than the Drake game.
100%. I would love to see that. That would make me feel so good after the Drake game. So, yeah.
I mean, we've gotten bits and pieces as we went along. Like, there was a lot of questions about Chase, and then Chase came out against Drake and just slung it and showed what he's totally capable of. And I think all those steps have built confidence in this program that hasn't really found its soul or essence or whatever you want to call it yet, because they're still new together and they haven't fully meshed.
Yep. All right, Tanner, Oh, actually, hold on. Sorry, Tanner, before we get to you here. Got to shout out Northwestern Mutual, sponsor here of the predictions segment that we do. So if you need life insurance, retirement planning, whatever it may be, whatever your financial goals are, stop in and see Chris Schenkel and his team down in Sioux Falls, Northwestern Mutual. They'll get you hooked up. Also, since we were last on, we officially know now that Chase Mason is the SDSU representative for the Alex's Lemonade Stand Challenge. We can start raising some money for him. I think Jim Poppin was the first person to donate. So yeah, Chase the Cure is the hashtag that we're using.
And I see that USD raised like $1,500 with their gel yote shots that are maybe a direct ripoff of something else. Who knows? But that's okay. All the money goes to charity. So if it's a good idea, it's a good idea, and I don't care. But we gotta do better than them. That's really the point there.
There we go. So thank you, Northwestern Mutual, for your continued support. Tanner, all right, offense. Who is going to be the offensive MVP in this one?
I'm gonna go with Grayton Gannon.
Okay, you're sticking on the tight ends, huh?
I'm gonna I'll go 70+ yards and a touchdown, 5 catches.
Ooh, okay.
Four catches.
I like it.
Okay, Chad, what are you thinking, buddy?
Man, I'm gonna roll with Juice. That guy's part of the offensive line and spirit, and I can't pick a position group, so I'm going with Juice.
All right, Juice, perfect.
Corey Blair did look good. That's a good point.
I am gonna go with Lofton. I think we continue to see some big stuff from him. Maybe we see a longer score now for once. I know he's more of that possession type, but I think he's going to break one at some point and get a chance to show off some speed. So
that's another thing we didn't really touch on yet, but it was really good to see Graham get some quality catches.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially that long one, which is something we've been looking for a little bit more too. We know he's capable. He's just had some struggles and had some ones that are close that have just not gone his way. So it's good to see him get some confidence there too.
Yep. And he drew a big pass interference too.
Yes,
that's awesome as well. So if he hadn't been interfered on, he would have caught that as a touchdown.
For sure.
Yeah. So defense, Tanner, who you taking?
Kobe Brett, interception, PBU, a couple tackles. He's going to light someone up. Big play, clean hit. There will be no targeting call. Kobe Brett will have a big game Saturday.
All right. Chad?
Well, Jim Poppins taking CVT, the Titan missile, and I'm with Seth Meyer. I'm going with MC Shane. He's going to tear it up, and that's my guy this week. Get a nickname, get player of the game.
Perfect.
Earn it.
Tanner, I liked everything you said there. You just picked the wrong guy. I'm going with Miles Taylor. He's going to get a couple interceptions in this one. As much as they want to air it out, I like Miles Taylor.
Nick Shane in the membrane. That's all right.
That's funny. I'm coming around to that now, Chad. I like it.
MC Shane, yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Tanner is our guest picker. You can either pick first on the score or pick last.
I'll take first.
All right. What are we thinking?
Of course.
You're going to see a dominant performance Saturday. Got the cobwebs out. You're going to see, everything that was maybe a bit rough around the edges, smooth. 49-10. Jacks will look as good as they have so far this season. They will dominate.
All right. There we go. I like that. Chad?
Matt, why don't you go? I'll go last.
All right. I was going to go 42-7, actually. So,
okay.
Yep, I'm right there with you, Tanner. Yep.
And I am going to give him some credit, and I will go 38-17.
38-17. All right. Awesome. I like all those. Yeah, Tanner, once again, you just want to talk about your book just really quick in case people are coming on. When's it coming out, and what do you have planned with it?
Stig and the Rise of South Dakota State Football. It's the biography of John Stiglmeyer, longtime coach of the Jacks for 26 years, led them to their first national championship, sails off into the sunset into retirement. It's also a book about the program itself, how they became national champions from what once was a mediocre Division II team. The book launches on October 10th. It will be at Cubby's, 4 to 6 p.m. Me and Coach Stig will both be there. We'll have books available. Love to meet you guys. Love to sign the books for you guys. And if you can't make it on Friday, October 10th, that's the day before Hobo Day, we're going to do one more the following day at the JFPA tailgate. So if you guys aren't going to be in town until Saturday, stop by the JFPA tailgate. We'll have some books there as well, and you can meet Coach Stig. That'll be, I'm sure, his favorite part, to meet people, to see people again he hasn't seen in a while. So if you guys are willing to stop by, we'd love to see you.
All right, and where can people pre-order the books?
You can. Yeah, you can pre-order the book. Yeah, I should mention that. You can pre-order the book right now, tannercastora.com. Not www. Just tannercastora.com. You can pre-order a soft cover or a hard cover. I will tell you, the hard covers, I'm getting those first before the soft covers, so I can mail those out quicker. But yeah, if you want to pre-order a book right now, tannercastora.com.
Awesome. Love it, buddy. And good luck with it. Excited for you. I know how hard you've worked on this again the last 20 months or so. So good job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. I can't wait to read it. It's going to be the first book I read for a long time. It's going to be the first one I've read in a long time. Sorry. Probably the last one I read was Total Money Makeover, a Legacy Journey from Dave Ramsey. So
yeah, there we go.
Good.
Hey, just want to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. This has been awesome. Lots of good questions again, interaction. Got to thank our sponsors one more time: Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, Hadrick Ranch, Cubbies, Renegade Regeneration, Northwestern Mutual. Thank you for making this possible. And then like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep interacting with us. We love it. So see you all Saturday at tailgating. It's going to be a blast. And with that, go big, go blue. Go Jacks.